You're about to listen to a podcast from the Firearms Radio Network. For more, visit firearmsradio.net.
Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 510. This show is brought to you by VZ Grips, Walker Defense, Primary Arms, and our newest sponsor, XS Sights. In this show, we have a pump action AR, a Solar Prism, an over-under 20 gauge, a rimfire rifle, and a case. So as you may know, we showcase guns, gear, and anything else you might be interested in. We do our best to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm Chad Wallace, and the whole crew is here today for the pre-shot show, which really isn't a pre-shot show. We got Tony, Rob, and Rusty. And for over 25 years, XS Sights has helped you get on target faster, offering tritium sights in all different types and styles. Low light is no longer an obstacle for getting on target fast. Most options come with a brightly colored photoluminescent ring, helping to make that front sight even brighter. This colored ring makes them a fantastic daylight sight by drawing your eye right to it. XS Sights has sights styles for everyone. Big dots, ghost rings, standard notch and post, minimalist, suppressor height, all offering tritium options. Available for a plethora of firearm types from shotguns to handguns, XS Sights has you covered for all your low sighting needs. Now, our XS product of the week this week is their R3D 2.0 suppressor height night sights for Glock, but they make them for various other pistols too, including FNs like Rob was saying. So, you can visit XS Sights at xssights.com, and I forgot to put this in the show notes, but it is under the affiliates. If you use code GGR20, you'll get 20% off most of the stuff that's over there, which pretty much all sites. I think there's a few things that it doesn't work on, but you'll figure it out. So, did you guys do anything in firearms?
I did, but...
Well, you better go, because I don't think anybody else is answering.
Yeah. I had a competition Saturday. I guess you guys know I told you I hurt my leg at the end of the year. So I had a police shoot Friday night, but I couldn't make it. Had a lot of errands to run, and being on my feet that long, it's swelling behind the kneecap fluid, that whole thing. Everybody, a lot of us, if you played sports, you've had that happen. So I had that happen from work. But Saturday I had the military shoot, so I took my ARs up, I took my 22 up, and it had been raining in Jersey for a while, and I looked up. I brought my guns to the bench. I looked, it was like, man, 100 yards across wet range is a long way to go, like multiple times. So I was like, I'll just shoot the 22 event. So it had a 50-yard 22 event. I took the targets out. I set them up for the 22 event, get back, check out my 22, and discover I didn't bring any magazines for the friggin' 22. The 1022 mags.
Great.
I'm like, I know I got them, dude. I have enough range bags in my car. I know I have a 1022 mag somewhere. Freaking jump into the car, boom, found a 1022 mag, except it's one of the Butler Creek long ones.
That don't work all that great.
Well, no, they is this my story? I have to shave the poplar off the side with my pocket knife because it can't fit into the into the Hightower Armory bullpup chassis. So I had to shave that off. I shaved that off. All right, cool. I got my ammo. Cool. I loaded it up. Boom. I throw the thing in my shoulder to shoot it. Red dot is dead. Okay, fine. Wait a minute. Where are all my batteries? What do you call it? Your favorite battery?
The 2032s.
Yeah, 203. All right. I'm like, where's my 2032s? My 2032s. All right. I'm looking. Oh, yeah, I don't have any. But I got the Hawk Optic 1-8, and that takes 2032. I'll take it out of that since I'm not shooting that rifle. Freaking cover won't come off the freaking rifle, bro. The cover won't come off the sight. It's frozen. I'm like, this is really because it's a 2-hour drive one way.
Uh-huh.
So I'm at the range. I'm like, So the 22 event is at 50 yards, and you can't have magnified optics. So I go to the range. The guy who's running is like, "Can I shoot it if I put the 1-8 on, but leave it on 1?"
Right. It's the non-magnified.
It's not magnified. They were like, "Yeah." I mean, I've been going there for years, and they know I'm not going to cheat for bragging rights.
Exactly.
Yeah. So before I took the red dot off, I decided at 50 yards at a target that's the size of my fist that I'm going to try to imagine where the red dot would be and shoot it anyway.
How'd it work?
I got 1 in the 7 ring at 50 yards, point shooting.
Hey,
bro, the target is this big. I got 1 in the friggin' ring. I pulled it, I signed it, and I entered that one because once I got the 1-8 on, I couldn't freaking zero the thing for anything because I didn't have consistent ammo. I had CCI of Velocers.
Oh, yeah, those things are terrible anyway.
And then I had regular CCI, but only like 20 rounds. And then I had like 40 rounds of Federal. So I never had anything that was consistent. And how are you going to zero something at 50 yards during the competition?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got third place.
So we got third place.
How many contestants?
3.
3?
3. Well, here's the funny part. People shoot these things and you turn in your score. And a lot of people get a score and they go, "Man, that was horrible. It's low. I'm not even turning it in." And I'm like, I hit that son gun once using the freaking spirit of the force, bro. And I was able, and the people are like, "What's the big deal?" I'm like, there were no references.
Yeah.
It was just sticking in my shoulder and imagining where a dot would be in the glass. And I'm
pointing and shooting.
I was pointing and shooting with a cheek well. That was the only difference. But that was it. I was getting frustrated, and the gun wasn't working because I need to take it apart and clean it. I haven't cleaned it in 4 years. 4 years of diversity shoots, kids shoots, all that, and it started malfunctioning 3 times per magazine.
And that's a 1022. I mean, yeah, that many rounds through it. I'm surprised it didn't malfunction more.
Dude, and it was hilarious malfunction because, again, it's a bullpup chassis. So you know where you have the thumb piece the thumb cocker for the 1022. Well, on the chassis, you hook something over that, and it operates, when you charge it. The round was getting caught between when it ejects and the little piece. So I'd have to hold the bolt halfway open, grab it with a needle nose pliers, and pull the case out. 4 times a 10-round magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this is not fun anymore. I'm going to stop before I ruin it. And one of the guys I was there with went, "Dude, we come to this event, we pay $10. We enter a couple of the categories, but then we just turn it into a range day. Want to shoot my 458 SOCOM?"
No.
So the video I posted of me launching $2 rounds downrange was me shooting his 458 SOCOM with a Tomax upper and a freaking Voltor lower and a Tromax, I think the name of it. Yeah, it was probably a $1,500 to $1,700 build, if not more. And he had all the bells and whistles. He had a flashlight on it. No, wait a minute. No, he didn't. He had it set up for home defense, so I think he puts a light on it at home. But that's his home defense gun. And I'm like, I guess if you're going to be in Jersey where you're limited to 10 rounds, having the 10 biggest rounds you can put in an AR is a smart move.
No kidding. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is.
I don't want to shoot your gun, but I will.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he had everything from, he had 320, I think it's 320 round, 320 grain up to 600 or 700 grain.
Oh, yeah.
And he has the Lehigh, I don't even know, like, Killer Dinosaur rounds.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that what you need with it? Yeah, it sounds like fun because
worried about with something like that for home defense is over penetration, especially if you pull a shot or the guy moves and you miss.
Well, I think 2 things. I think over penetration is something people worry about, and I haven't really had it happen. You know what I mean? Like all the news stories I've ever heard, I've never heard of anybody getting shot with over penetration. I remember people do this thing between 250 to 5 million times a year they defend themselves with a firearm. I figured voter penetration was a problem. We hear about it a lot.
Yeah.
It's a problem created by gun people a lot. And lawyers.
Yes.
Between gun people and lawyers, that's one of the things they have you worrying about. But yeah, I think it is crazy to have that. But what's the difference between that and a 12 gauge? When we come into power, really.
Yeah, if you're using slugs, yeah. Yeah.
When you're using slugs, or even when you're using a double-op buckload inside a home.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the whole thing, but it was a lot of fun, man.
Sweet.
Nice.
Rob, I'm guessing you didn't do anything.
Man, it's freaking rained all week long. I want to go to the range. No way, Jose. It's like pouring. It's like,
hey, Tony.
It's not going to be a fun range day.
Rob's over here complaining about rain.
Yeah. Rain.
Yeah, I didn't do anything either. It's like Ice-mageddon here or something. I'm not sure what we're calling. No, it's ice. There's now real snow. It's freaking ice everywhere. So that's
for your whiskey.
Well, the thing is I could go outside, grab some, and put it in my whiskey. So yeah, and of course, in the chat, it's bad here too, but he's like 30 miles south of me, so I think it's worse there than it is here. So, bandwidth sponsor, our friends over at Patriot Patch Co. We're probably going to see at least one of them here next week because, I don't think Jake will be there, but I'm pretty sure Ryan will be there. So definitely go check out their stuff. Check out the Patch of the Month Club. Join the Patch of the Month Club. You get cool things like this, which I really wish I had one of these tracked vehicles right now because it would make life a lot easier. And I'd probably look like that driving it too, which is a Yeti. So don't forget to check out our affiliates discounts. Of course, Excess Sights is in there now because they are a proud sponsor. So, Rob, I don't know if this really applies. And you want to read the VZ Grips ad since Rusty dropped off too?
Sure. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And now our product spotlight is going to be sponsored by VZ Grips. And we have a spotlight because we don't have any reviews tonight. So VZ Grips has been manufacturing handgun grips since 2003 with a reputation for quality, consistency, and innovation. Top-tier manufacturers choose VZ Grips. They come in a variety of styles, patterns, colors, and are manufactured from proprietary G10 micarta, carbon fiber, or polymer. Available with varying degrees of texture, VZ Grips offers a wide range of grips for all different firearm types. Made in the USA, VZ Grips gives you the grip you can count on. Feature grip of the week is their Operator 2 for the Ruger 2245 Mark IV. Ooh, that's a nice gun. That's a nice grip.
I would really like to have a 2245 Mark IV.
Mark IV.
Yeah, because those are the ones that just pivot apart one pin.
Yeah, those are the ones you can take apart easily. The Mark IIIs are like less than an origami to put the bloody thing back together.
Any of the Mark 1, 2, or 3s. I have, I think, a Mark II 2245, which I love the thing. It's just, if I have to, it doesn't have changeable grip panels, other stuff. So, I got that.
It doesn't have, what's that color that Rusty loves?
Dirty olive. It does not have dirty olive in this one. So
sorry, Rusty.
He can yell at him at SHOT Show.
There you go. Remember to check out VZ Grips at vzgrips.com. And the coupon code GGR15 gets you 15% off handgun and rifle grips at vzgrips.com. And like I said, there is no main topic review tonight, so we're just going to go into the product spotlight. And remember, this is a product spotlight and discussions, not an official review.
Nicely done, Rob. Now, so the first product up this week is the Citadel Taipan X. MSRP is $12.99. Now, I want to hate this thing, but I don't want to hate it. This is a pump action AR, but it's a little different. I'm sure Tony watched the videos. I did not watch all of the videos, but it's got some cool features to it. It is in 223 5.56, 16.5-inch barrel. It's gray in color, if it really matters. 1-in-8 twist barrel. They don't give you a ton of information, so I'll also link the Firearm blog article in there. But you look at it, it's similar. You get that, but it's got a pump forend, so it's got like an M-lock forend, and then it's got a pump on it. So if you want to do it that way, but it also has a side charger on the left side. So if you want to do it that way, you can charge it that way, which is kind of cool in that case. This thing, I think, has been around a little while. It's just now being imported into the US. And that's the thing, is it uses AR triggers, so AR pistol grips, the buttstock, if I remember correctly. I mean, this is a aluminum skeletonized one. It is a folder, so you can fold it. It doesn't look like it has a pick rail on it, so I don't know if it's interchangeable with other styles, which would be nice if it is, but
I don't. Well, with the pump out front, I don't know if you could actually fit a pick rail on the darn thing without nailing your
No, on the back.
accessories.
On the back where you would stick a pick rail stock. That's kind of what I was thinking. It does look like they have a QD mount in there if you would like. So, I don't know. I mean, in certain states, I could see this. I just don't know if it's something for that price I would buy. It looks well made. I like the looks of it. If it was just like an AR with a recoil system that doesn't use a buffer in the stock, I would think it would be pretty cool. Other than
That's
that,
basically what it is.
exactly, except it's pump action, so
Yeah.
you can have certain features in certain states.
So I was checking this out and I watched the video. No. And it's no because the way the thing tears down, it's not going to hold. It did not look like it held up to the 100 rounds that this guy put through it, where the cam locked up, because it has a bolt of an AR. It has the cam, uses the cam somewhat like an AR. And it was banging up the inside of his upper. Now, if I'm going to get a pump action AR, I'll go to Troy. Troy makes them. So I'll go with somebody that makes a lot of AR-15s. Actually, I wouldn't buy from Troy either, but that's a whole other reason I wouldn't buy from Troy. But if I was going to get one, especially at that price, I would get one from an American company, because this is out of Australia.
Right.
I get it from an American company that can support the firearm, and it shares a lot more than just a few parts. Actually, pretty much the firing pin and a trigger is the only thing that's really, and the pistol barrel.
Yeah, that's it.
Is the only thing that shares with an AR-15.
True.
Yeah, and it uses PMAG mags, but only Gen 3, not Gen 2 PMAG. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, man, thanks a lot for playing, but no thank you.
Well,
And hey, listen, if you live in Australia, totally understand. You got to do what you got to do. But this thing doesn't look like it's going to hold up to a high round count. But I do find it interesting watching their commercial. I watch a review from 2 other people, and I watch one of their commercials. And unlike in American commercials, when you're using an AR type rifle, there is no camouflage, there's no mag change, there's no helmets. Like, they're not LARPing. It's just dudes that arrange target shooting. So it's a whole different aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the part I watched. That's what I saw too. I'm waiting. I'm like, wait a second, I'm missing something
Waiting
here.
for Tactical Timmy?
Yeah, I was waiting for Tactical Timmy.
Yep. No praising the Tactical Timmy gods.
So,
Well, I mean, just showing you how the gun works. I mean, it looks interesting. I guess if you lived in California or New Jersey and you need something like this, I'm assuming it's legal because it's pump action and not semi-automatic.
Yeah, the action.
Because it's got a threaded barrel too, so
Once you get it out of semi-automatic, none of the stuff counts.
okay.
So you can have a folding in Jersey. In Jersey, you can have a folding stock threaded barrel held bayonet lug. It's not semi-automatic, so somehow it's not a threat because they've never heard of pump action or lever action firearms, obviously.
Because they've never heard of people practicing with their firearms to get good at using them.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is about control, and this costs twice as much as the least expensive AR you can get, and then you have to deal with the finickiness of it. If this is your only choice, yeah, but there are other things you can get, including things that can turn your regular AR into a bolt action.
Yeah.
You can get a side folder and take out the gas. You can take out the gas tube, bro. You can get a side charger and take out the gas tube of a Bear Creek Arsenal for all of $400 for an whole
or turn the gas block around, and that way it won't dump gas.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's what I meant.
Yeah. But, and that's the thing is I saw the price, and for what it is, I was like, that seems quite a bit high for what I am thinking that this should be. I mean, that was my opinion. I know there's others, like you said, out there, and I think they're probably in about the same price range, but it's one of those things. It's like, do I really want one or need one? That's probably the other.
Well, I mean, like, question. Okay, Chad, I live in a free state. You live in a relatively free state.
No, well,
yeah, look at it and go toy.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is our relatively free state, as long as the courts have been doing their job, we're just as free. I mean, for the most part. I mean, supposedly, I guess we can't have ghost guns now or something. I don't know, but since you can see mine,
definition of ghost gun.
Yeah, since you can see mine, they're not ghosts. That's what I figure. So that pretty much is our thoughts on the Citadel Taipan X. So up next,
how's this real quick?
Yep.
Again, two things. The teardown is totally complicated.
Yep.
And second thing is a foreign gun manufacturer, regardless of where it is, it's in Australia, it's on the other side of the world. How do they support this?
Yep. I mean, it's different than it's like one of the Turkish guns where the importer basically supports it by just buying extra guns or whatever they do so they can have parts, but they're cheap. So I get that. So next up, our friends over at Adaball have come out. It's on pre-order now. It's their P1 Solar 1X Prism. MSRP is $299.99. Pre-order, I think the first pre-order for $200 is done, so now it's like $215 or $25 or something. It's
$215 right now on their website.
Okay, there you go. It was $199 so if you got on that, but hey, $215 still not bad for a 1X Prism. No. This thing has everything you want in a Prism. Doesn't surprise me. It has auto on off, motion activated illumination of the reticle. The reticle is a 65 MOA ring with a 3 MOA dot in the middle. Of course, it's etched, so if the battery's not working, you can still see it. But this is solar, so it also has the ability to run off the solar panel if you're in enough light to make it work, which is the cool thing about it, because hey, Prisms aren't notorious for having super great battery life like a red dot does, because it works different. So I have an Adaball solar red dot, and I do know that if the battery's completely dead and it's bright outside, you have a well-lit reticle in it. So I'm assuming this is going to be the same way. You can literally take the battery out and the solar works. 30,000 hour battery life on medium power. Of course, it is daylight bright, which they would guess. Of course, you have reticle focus adjustment because it's got a diopter, because it is an etched reticle. Of course, multi-coated lenses. It does come with a co-witness height mount. It is a aimpoint T2 footprint, so various amounts are out there for you. It is a 19 millimeter window size, I guess. The eye relief optimal is 4 inches, but they say 2 to 8 inches. So that's up there with the Primary Arms prisms. I also asked them if it works with magnifiers and backup irons, and it does. So this is probably the second one I know of on the market that does that. The Primary Arms is the other one. Now the Adaball has one. Of course, 1 MOA adjustments. You get 90 clicks each elevation and windage, depending on what you're looking for. 2 night vision, 8 daylight bright. Uses the batteries that Tony doesn't seem to remember to carry. Field of view is 89 feet at 100 yards. I mean, yeah, I don't think we're too worried about that. It weighs 9 ounces. Length is 3.6 inches. You know, I heard he was coming out with this, and when he finally released it, I was like, this thing is awesome. I mean, I haven't seen one yet. I'm sure it's got decent clarity because I don't think I've seen an Adaball that doesn't have at least decent clarity on it. So, you know, I'm hopeful that maybe we'll get one to review, but you know, and me and Tony and probably 99% of the population with our astigmatisms, because we got the stigma. I mean, I like prism sights for that reason, just because on a rifle, to me, it's better than a red dot because yes, I can still use it if the battery's dead. As Tony's story kind of went earlier about batteries being dead and needing an etched reticle. So what do you guys got on this?
I'm with you. Definitely, I wish I would have had this Saturday. I could have competed. Because it's a prism. So, and you know, it's going to be clear. I want to see it. They always have these things come out on sale when I have no money to throw at them.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
It really sucks, man. It's like, okay, thing in life, keep at least $200 in your account for when Adaball just drops something new, and you can catch it at this super pre-sale price.
Kind of like the STDs or whatever they were.
They still on sale, by the way.
Well, that's because they brought in the green ones now. So I think they brought the price back down for the other option. I don't know for sure.
Still don't have money for it.
Exactly.
So right now I'd have to have $400 on me just to get this and the STD.
Yeah, because that's yeah. I get you, and it's SHOT Show time, so you got to get to SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What you got? Any thoughts on it, Rob?
I think it's cool. I mean, Adaball makes good stuff. I wish I had the money to spend on it, but
yeah,
I'm in a cash crunch right now. You know.
Yeah,
I don't want to be racking up big debts on 20% interest credit cards. You know.
Yeah. I hear you. I think times are a little tight for most people, so that's that.
Yeah, it's what you call Biden inflation.
Yeah, exactly. That is the Adaball P1 Solar, 1X Prism. Now,
you want me to hit the Walker Defense spot?
Sure.
Walker Defense provides shooters with the finest, most innovative quality tactical accessories and firearm components around. From their Nile grip panels to their Nero muzzle brakes, no details are ever left behind. Only top quality materials are used in the manufacturing process. Together, all this gives you some of the best firearm performance around. Everything they have to offer is proudly made in the USA. Walker Defense, where American ingenuity meets bleeding-edge technology. Our Walker Defense product of the week is their Flat Dark Earth Bolt Carrier Group. But where the hell's Rusty at?
I keep seeing pictures of this thing, and it's just beautiful. I'm like,
that was gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Too bad you'll never see it unless you take the rifle apart.
Well, you see it when the dust cover flips open, but
yeah,
I mean, that's about it. But yeah, it's gorgeous, and it's not
nice.
And they're what, $200 or something? They're in
$195,
right? And then you get 15% off. So
yeah, just remember, hey, Remember, when you visit Walker Defense Research at walkerdr.com, use the code INSIDER15 for 15% off everything in the store.
There you go. Now
let's go on to this Mossberg.
Yeah, and I kind of stuck this in here because I liked it. I figured Rusty would, but he's on a call or something. Mossberg came out. They've had the Gold Reserve for a while. They just released the Gold Reserve in the 20 gauge, and so I put the Black Label 20 gauge in here because I thought it was pretty cool. You know, there's not much difference between it and the non-Black Label Gold Reserve. MSRP on these is $1,135, which to me is a steal if you've ever used one of these. So basically the difference is the receiver. This is an over-under, so the receiver is blued or black on this one as opposed to being like chrome. Still has the same markings and everything else is the same, but that's what you get. So, grade A black walnut stocks. Of course, it's new shell ejectors, scroll engraved polished receiver with gold inlay, and it's, you know, very subtle. Tang mounted safety barrel selector as you would get, dual locking lugs. This is the 20 gauge, holds 2. The engraving is polished black with scroll and inlay. Total length is 47 inches. It shoots 3-inch 20 gauge shells. It is a vent rib, 30-inch barrel length. They're polished blue. Let's see, bead front sight. It is a fixed length of pull though, so you deal with that. Weight is a whole 6.25 pounds, which, and you know, if you don't know much about like over under shotguns like this, they have a 30-inch barrel, but they're not any longer than your like any field shotgun because the action is just you drop them in. So you get longer barrel length, comes with choke tubes. So you don't really, it's got their external sport set. It comes with 5 choke tubes, or I think it says 5 total. So I'm guessing not 5 for each barrel, but just 5 total, which makes sense because typically you're not running both barrels with the same choke tube. At least I don't if I shoot one of these. The other thing is I like if you're hunting with this thing, hunting upland game or pheasants, or which is upland game, but something like this, 6.25 pounds, you're not going to be tired carrying it around and especially with like these shotguns, it's like you're not going to put a sling on them to carry them like you would normal stuff. You're carrying that thing around. I like 20 gauge. I mean, recoil wise, I feel they're the same. I don't really even tend to notice much difference. But I just think they're pretty cool. So that's kind of why I stuck it in here. I'd like to have one. The price isn't terrible. You guys ever shoot skeet, trap, 5 stand?
Yeah, I've done that a few times. It takes a lot of practice. Skeet takes a lot of freaking practice.
Yeah. I mean, and plus you're shooting what, 50 in a whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. 50 shots.
When you get done, your shoulder's like, what the hell did you do to me?
Yeah. And yeah.
Tony's so like, I don't know the difference. I don't know the difference between skeets and praise. We had the 50 rounds. We traveled around this whole thing over at Lehigh. So that was the first time I ever did anything like that. And I was using everybody's shotgun and we still scored high squad. And I'd never done it before. So, I mean, it's beginner's luck. She's like, it's hard. I'm like, first time out, I was on high squad. But it's a lot of fun and lighter shotguns are better. I was able to shoot over and unders when I was over at Fort Dix when we were shooting from their stands. And, you know, because I bought my Stevens 20 gauge and I was feeling all good about myself. And everybody else brought everything from Browning over and unders to CZ Redheads to Benelli's to even the Mossberg 930, I think it was. So I got to shoot all of those. So it's fun. when you go to these events, there's a whole bunch of gatekeeping snobs there,
Oh,
and they have their nose all up in the air. And I think for the price of this, you get a really good gun, you get a good looking gun, you get a lightweight gun, you get a gun with a Mossberg name. Also, you got the scroll work on it. I'm thinking this is not bad at all, and this may be something that you can test your toe in the water. You can get a decent gun that, if you like shooting, you can upgrade later. You can sell this and not lose your shirt. I don't really see a bunch of downsides to this. If you just want to over and under shotgun, have one. You got a good one. You got ones with chokes that you know what they are. I mean, not some weird thing, not something you have to look up from overseas with a weird thread pitch. So I think this is really a good thing. And it kind of sucks you don't have the length of pull adjustment, but you get those options when you get more expensive guns.
Well, the thing is, like you're saying about skeet snobs. First time I did skeet shooting, I showed up with a Benelli M3.
Nice.
And that guy looked at me, and he's like, "The hell is this? Get this damn riot gun off my range." I'm like, "Okay." I shot. I didn't do too bad, but
yeah, and that's the thing is, I think the first time I shot a full skeet round, I took my Mossberg 500, and I did better than I expected. I mean, I think I broke like
these people
30 some clays.
They show up there with their guns. Some of these guns are like $20,000.
Oh yeah, at least.
And if you don't have a $5,000 gun, they look at you as just a play toy.
Yeah.
See, I don't care about those dudes, because those dudes are just gatekeeping a-holes. But to roll in with the correct gun for it and not have to spend an arm and a leg and still have a decent gun that you can run with, because really, their $20,000 gun, if they don't have the skill set, you can rock their world anyway. Yeah. I mean, again, we did pretty good. I didn't embarrass myself. We had 4 members on the team. All of us are firearms instructors, but the other 2 shoot clay regularly. And myself and Chris didn't. I mean, I've taught shotgun class, NRA basic shotgun, and every year I teach people how to shoot throwing clays, pretty much 200 to 300 people at the family day. But I don't run this thing. And dude, it's fun if you don't overthink it. If you allow people to get in your head, you're going to screw the whole thing up. And to have a decent piece of equipment that, again, you're not embarrassed when you break it out. You didn't break something out that's weird. You got something that's new. You got something with a tight lockup. You got something with a little scroll work on it, so you don't look like the pores. Well, the poorest of the pores.
And don't forget, it's got shell ejector, so it looks cool when you crack it open.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely, man. Get somebody to videotape you when you crack that erratic pattern throwing thing out, because it either will barely come out or try to blow the back of your head off when you crack it open. Yeah, exactly. It will eject those things like someone throwing a drunk out of a bar at your face.
Yeah, that it will. But yeah, and that's the thing is for me, like I said, I don't shoot it enough, but if I shot it more, I would buy something like this, because yeah, I know that it's a good entry level for those games. It's like I had, when I went to college, back in the 1800s, I had an instructor that shot trap.
Yeah,
like
John Adams was one of your classmates, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking the father, not the
no.
Quincy.
No. This guy, we called him Davy Crockett, so that tells you. He shot trap all the time, and everybody made fun of him because he was one of those guys that never found a gun that he liked. So he didn't shoot well because literally they said every week he had a different gun. And
whoops.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was like
that kind of money.
Well, he'd sell one and get another one. And it's like, if you'd even just kept one for like 2 months, you'd probably do way better, because he shot it at least once a week, which I thought was pretty funny. So that was the Mossberg Gold Reserve Black Label 20 gauge. Next up is another gun I want. Why? This thing's pretty cool for the price. This is the Christensen's Arms MPR rimfire. MSRP on this is $1,249.99, so $1,250, but at least it's got the 99 in there for Tony. That's a big plus for Tony. This is their rimfire chassis rifle. It weighs 6.2 pounds. Okay. It's got some cool features for exactly what it does. Of course, you can get it in 16, 18, and 20-inch barrels. And I put the 22 long rifle in the show notes, but they make the 22 WMR and 17 HMR also. Same price on those, which is pretty cool. I can't say that I don't like it. Why do they make this so small for me? Because I'm old and can't read. But basically, it's got free float, handguard, carbon fiber. It has an adjustable stock, length of pull, comb height. It also folds, uses an AR compatible grip. It does come with a Trigger Tech trigger, and it uses Remington 700 triggers. So you can do that. It comes with a zero MOA pick rail already built on it. And of course, it comes with a carbon fiber tension rimfire barrel. And let's see, am I missing anything? Oh, yes. It uses Ruger 1022 magazines, or the WMR and HMR use the whatever they classify that same action in the larger style magazines. So, of course, being able to find decent magazines is good. It comes with a BX15, I think, magazine. All I know is I don't care, even though this might be something that you would want for what is one of the rimfire competitions. This is a bolt gun, not the semi like speed steel or something like that. But
precision rifle.
Yeah. Precision rimfire, something like that. This would be awesome for. Of course, sub MOA accuracy guarantee at 50 yards, unless you're shooting various different types of ammo like Tony is. But, it is one of those things. It's got 6 QD mounts built in to help depending on what you want to do with it. Basically, you buy this thing, you put a decent scope on it, and you're pretty much ready to go if you want an accurate 22. I like the design. I saw this, so I put them on my have to stop and check it out to see how it feels. I don't know if they're going to be at range day, but if they are, I'll shoot it. If they're not, oh wait, no, they are, but I don't know if they'll have this at range day because they're on the rifle range. I hope so. So I really want to shoot it and see how it feels. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
I like it. And for the price and what you get, good God.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, when I first saw it, I'm like, carbon fiber, bolt action, uses Remington 700 triggers. I'm like, this thing, I'm like, wait, it takes 1022 mags. I'm like, this thing's going to be a fortune. And I mean, compared to a stock 1022, yes, but compared to what you get for this style rifle, it's cheap.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to build a 1022. And one of the guys I follow, his name is Major Pandemic. He built 1022s. And one of them was, carbon fiber and all that. And he spent significantly more than this putting together like Olympic grade 1022s. Mm-hmm. So truthfully, you got a lot for this. Phrase of the day, drinking phrase, golden, we're in the golden era. Bro, because think about how much this would have cost 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
It is crazy that you can pick this up now. Okay, you have a couple of 1022s, you have something, but you don't have like an ultimate 10, you don't have an ultimate 22 rifle. And when you do something like that, like my CZ Ultralux, that's awesome. It's a training rifle. It's got like a 24-inch barrel, but it's all freaking wood, walnut. It's beautiful, but it's heavy. This is very light. You have all these adjustments and carbon fiber. I mean, this is what I would qualify almost as an heirloom gun because of the quality of build. Because this is Christensen Arms. They make really nice stuff, but it also has a lot of advanced technologies that really kind of will be a long time before they get old or obsolete. You know what I mean? It's like, this is pretty darn good. like
Oh, God,
you're
yes.
not going to get this. You're not going to get this and be like a nylon 66. I think that was it, right? Nylon 66. Even those still look sleek today, and it's like 70 years later. And I think this will fall in that category.
Yeah, I think you're right because, the only bolt, well, I should say I have a bunch, but they don't count. I have an old Remington 512 24-inch barrel. Best thing about it is it's a 23-inch barrel now because I mean, they're not worth anything. I cut it down, threaded it, and then the piece I chopped off, I made into the thread protector so that when it's screwed on, you can't really tell. Like literally, and it's a taper barrel, but you put a suppressor on that thing and it doesn't matter. It's movie quiet
Beautiful.
because the barrel's so long. The problem with it is it's got a side mount scope. So it's got an old 4-power scope that's like 1/2-inch diameter. I mean, it works.
Looking through a penny.
Yeah, it works. And the thing's super accurate, but it's one of those things. It's like I have to have it tapped to put a real scope mount on it. And it's like, I don't know if it's worth it, but this would be a nice replacement.
Something like this. Yeah. With something like this, like takes it up from, I made this in the basement to I have a shooter that I know wherever I aim at 50 yards, this is going to hit in little cloverleaf patterns, especially when you find the right ammo for it, which I find it funny. Look, I was having a good time at a friendly competition, but believe me, if I was shooting a competition where you needed to have accuracy like this, you would get one of these guns and then you would find which Ely ammo it worked with.
Exactly.
Because that's what you'd probably end up using.
Since I don't think Federal's made gold medal match 22 in years. So, you used to be able to find that stuff and now it's just Ely, whatever you can find. And once in a while you can find something else from, I don't know, the Czech Republic or something. But yeah, I get you. And that's the thing is I could see it shooting sub MOA at 50 yards with like CCI mini mags. I mean, I could see how they could be able to do that. So
you'd have to find your round for this rifle because each one of them is unique
and lot numbers
and just by the lot. But I find it can be a lot more fun with 10/22s, or excuse me, with 22s. And the fact that it takes 10/22 magazines, I mean, it's inexpensive to keep it up. Like the CZ, I think my magazines are like $30 a piece if I could find the 5 or 10 round.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, especially, I got a crap load of BX-25 mags.
Oh,
Don't worry about that.
And that's the thing is in the standard 10 round 10/22 mags are ultra reliable and have been for 50 years. So if you're looking, if you don't need that, depending on the competition you're shooting, you can always run something like that. And I know there's tons of aftermarket ones too that are for it. So that was the Christensen's Arms MPR rimfire. And next up, we have the Case Kinzua carbon fiber knife. MSRP is $207.99. This is made in the USA, so you're looking at made in the USA stuff. The one in the show notes is the blue and black carbon fiber. They do make an all black carbon fiber one. It's kind of the flattened looking carbon fiber. It gives it a kind of a cool look, especially on this knife. This knife is a flipper. And that's pretty much all it has. It does have a deep carry pocket clip, but what I found different about this than most of the ones, only one side's carbon fiber, the other side is aluminum, because it is a frame lock, which is, different than some of the others. It has kind of a drop point style blade. They call it a spear point. It's kind of in between the two from what I'd say, but it is using S35VN steel. So it is a high quality steel they're using in this thing. The blade finish is stone washed satin. It is 3.35 inches long. Closed length is 4.75 inches long. It weighs 3.4 ounces. The handle is smooth because, they didn't put any texture, but I know this type of carbon fiber kind of gives it a little bit of a texture. I liked it. It is made in the USA. I thought that was kind of pretty cool. And I mean, yeah, you're paying for it, but it's got good steel. You're not paying a tremendous, huge amount more for made in the USA than you are versus something not made in the USA with that steel. You guys are up. Tony must be muted.
Yeah, that was muted. I had to. I'm like touching the screen. Anyway, I find it funny that they made an entire commercial with this thing and had no idea what to do with it in their own commercial on their own website.
This is true.
I'm like, you had no clue. You were just like, hey, take it out to the shed and show them skinning the tree. I'm like, what are you doing? Look, I use my stuff. You don't have to have this whole atmosphere. Just open Amazon Prime boxes like a regular human being. So I think it really has good blade steel. I like the blue one better than the black when it looks better. $200 is pretty much what you're going to get, I guess, for an American-made knife from some people.
Yeah, I think they were like Knife Center or something had them, and I think they were $185 or something.
Still a little expensive because I was looking at how much that Launch 13 costs, and it was like $119,
right?
With the same blade still, and I'm like, this is a little expensive, and it's not the case knife that you know a case knife to be. Like, I mean, what are you? Is it a famous designer? Like, I'm trying to figure out why this price. Again, it's not an auto open. It doesn't have all that. It's
yeah.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, you're about $50 to $75 more than other knives with more features.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Now, I'm not saying it's ugly. I'm not saying it's any of that. But I'm like, your carbon fiber is only half of it's just the front half.
Right.
like the other part is aluminum, bro. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we switch from carbon fiber to G10, which is still lightweight and is also grippier, we got a knife that's half this price from anybody in America. So I think it's a little expensive. I laughed at the ad because they really didn't use it like any of us use a freaking knife. I mean,
right.
Use it to score. Weird. But yeah. Hey, if you want to buy it. It's a case. I mean, they have a long history of making good knives. I just looked at this one and went, it's more expensive than it should be by a significant amount, in my opinion.
I hear you. So, I don't think you got anything on it, Rob, or we said it all.
It's a bit pricey for my taste, but
yeah,
anyways.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. So that'll move us into Primary Arms. And Primary Arms seeks to provide you the best shopping experience for everything firearms. Yes, they have 13,000 products from your favorite brands. They also have their own brands. They carry a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearm parts, and shooting gear. Of course, every order comes with a commitment to superior service, fast shipping, and an expert support team. And it's your lucky day because when this podcast releases on Friday, it is also their Odyssey 2024, where basically they're going to tell you about all the new stuff that they're releasing at SHOT Show or 3 days before or whatever it is. I'm looking forward to it. I do know they did come out with their GLX RS15, I think, optic for handguns. So I know that's out there. It's, of course, auto on, off. I think it uses that reticle that's got the big, huge circle around it, so you know when you're off. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but they have a bunch of new stuff coming out. We'll get to see it firsthand, of course. But now the Primary Arms product of the week is their SLX 5-25 by 56 first focal plane rifle scope. The reason I put it in here is because I think it would be a great scope for that Christensen Arms MPR rimfire rifle, but and you know, at the cost of half the price of the rifle or less, you know, hey, but
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, yo, this would be nice on top of that 22.
That's well, see, I've looked at this one and I was like, okay, I'm putting it in there for the 22. I'm like, I could put the GLX 4-7 by like 30, but I'm like, you know, that's pricier, and I'm like, this would be a perfect scope for a 22. I mean, really, for something like that. I mean, maybe not your standard everyday 10-22, but for the Christensen Arms rifle, that's a different story. So that's why it's in here. You can sign up for the Primary Arms newsletter and more by going to primaryarms.com. And it looks like we don't have any listener feedback. So Tony might be able to tell us about diversity shoots. I don't know what he's doing this year, so
I don't know what I'm doing this year either, besides being in more ranges than ever. So I have not set dates. Really busy right now doing a lot of stuff, prepping for SHOT Show, prepping for going to Ambassador Academy and trying to do the fundraising and get that started. Set up photo shoots for the Ambassador Academy. Actually, I'm supposed to have like a theme for the shoot we do. So when I go down, I'm going to have to hit Rob up to bring some cool guns up so we can take some pictures and make some good quality content with cool guns. They're going to have a professional photographer there and all that stuff. So I'll be back to e-begging for money from you guys very shortly. Got some cool giveaway prizes, including a brace. So we're going to do that. We're going to do just like last time, the ATF brace giveaway. So, yep, we're trying to raise money to go into 2024 and be bigger, better than ever. And I'd appreciate your help. And if you are not involved in 2A advocacy, this is an election year. You might want to get started because our political enemies are pulling out all the stops. They're using everything and anything, including lies, panic, and everything else, including saying we've had 9 mass shootings this year, and including 3 drive-bys, 2 domestic disputes, and a couple of bar fights, and one actual mass shooting. But that's not going to stop them from hyperbole and propaganda, and we need to be knowledgeable, and we need to fight. So, second is for everyone. Go to Diversity Shoot, make donations to us, and help us fight the good fight by bringing in new people and educating them about what's going on with their civil rights. Thank you very much for allowing me to babble about this for 9 straight years. It's awesome. I appreciate it.
And that's exactly what you do, is just babble on and on and on. No, that's cool. So if you have anything you want us to check out at SHOT Show, send us a message and we'll see if we can swing by their booth and check it out. Because of that, there is no show next week due to SHOT Show activities. I could run a rerun like some places do, but I'm like, nah, we can just take it off because unlike other shows that take Christmas and New Year's off, we don't. So we decide that.
Hey, we might do something cool though. Hey, maybe if we're together, we can do an IG live.
We might
on Tuesday just to talk about what we've done so far. What the hell?
That's right. We could. You know how it is. But send us questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review somewhere. Don't forget to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and links to everything else at firearmsinsider.tv. You can check us out on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Firearms Insider. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch the live shows, of course, except the one I can't get back, which they took down because I guess I showed a picture of a gun. Haha. But who knows? So that one is not there, but whatever. Don't forget to check out our great sponsors and use the discount codes they have for you. And thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And don't forget, Epstein didn't kill himself.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
See you in a couple weeks.
This podcast has been a production of the Firearms Radio Network. For more, visit firearmsradio.net.